Yo, what is up, YouTube? My name is Christian Compy, and welcome back to the channel. In case you guys don't already know me, I'm 19 years old, live out here in Arizona, and I've been doing high ticket sales for almost about a year now. I thought about making this video earlier today because it's something that's been top of my mind for, I want to say, maybe the past 3 months, because I've always been looking for ways to utilize in the direction that high ticket sales is going, what things are coming up that I can use in my favor ahead of being ahead of the curve. Basically, there is a lot of stuff changing, whether you believe it or not. High ticket sales isn't the newest thing, but it's also not the oldest thing. It's almost like we're in a gold rush of just a lot of people selling courses, mentorships, masterminds, things of that nature. And with that being said, now it's 2025. It really started to blow up around 2020, so around COVID, when people started selling courses and people started going from low ticket programs up to high ticket. So there are a lot of things changing, especially with like things such as AI, which we'll go over here in a little bit in the video. But I really want to make this video especially for guys who are newer to high ticket sales, and also for people who are super experienced in this space, because a lot of these things that you guys could start implementing now, they could be philosophy changes, they could be physical things that you guys have to change in the way that you're selling to your prospects, that could help you not only get ahead of the curve, but also make high ticket sales an evergreen thing. A lot of people in high ticket sales, realistically speaking, only stay in the space for like 2-3 years the maximum. Most of the guys end up leaving after within their first year. You know what I mean? So utilizing these things I'm gonna walk you guys through is gonna be a huge game changer for you guys. There'll be a lot more stuff coming down the road that I'm sure that you guys will also be able to implement. But these like 5 to 6 things here are gonna be detrimental when it comes to increasing your commissions, being more true and authentic in an industry that is really a bunch of scammers, if we're being honest, a bunch of scammers and a bunch of people who don't deliver on what they promise. So you guys could pay attention to what I'm about to share with you guys and things that I'm noticing, and then we'll kind of go from there with the video and everything. So the first things first is I'm going to talk a little bit about hybrid roles. If you guys don't know what a hybrid role is, it's basically someone that sets and closes, right? Someone that's doing both on any given offer. It really doesn't matter. I personally got presented the opportunity as a setter January 1st for the offer I'm still working with to this day. However, that same day I actually got bumped up to a hybrid for some other issues that were working on that offer. Now think about it, today's August 18th. That means it's been 6, 7, 8 months now as a hybrid sales rep in the info high ticket sales space. I can confidently say that there's no better opportunity right now than to learn how to do both setting and closing, and not just learn them but also stick with them, right? I see a lot of guys like come into the space, they're like, they start off as an appointment setter, they're an appointment setter for 3 to 6 months, and they get bumped up to closer, and then all of a sudden now they're just closing full time, and they just completely like ditch setting at the end of the day. A lot of offers and a lot of operators and offer owners and really just whoever is managing you, like ahead of you, basically, a lot of these guys are looking for people who are adaptable and who know how to handle different situations. Oh, we're down a guy, can you just be a hybrid for like the next week or two? Yeah, that's not a problem, man, I got you. You know what I mean? So it's all about being adaptable and also understanding both ropes as a setter and a closer, because you're literally doing both at the end of the day. It's going to help you in the long run when I talk about managing positions, a little bit of the dual track system, which I kind of learned from a guy named Temple Naylor on Instagram. You guys should check him out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But as thinking more long-term perspective, you definitely want to get into a closing role as soon as possible. But in my opinion, even better than just closing is a hybrid role where you're both setting and closing your own deals. Not only is it just more money in general, obviously, yes, you'll be selling at 15% commission rather than 10% commission as a closer, but the skill set that you're learning as an appointment setter, as a closer, and then combining those two later down the road, it's going to be super detrimental. Take 2 examples. One guy, he just starts closing full time for the next year or 2 years, and then another guy, he decides to set and close for the next 1 to 2 years. The guy that's a hybrid role is just going to naturally have more skills in the tool belt to utilize, thinking more long term. If he decides to eventually launch his own mentorship, personal branding, there's management roles. We'll go to all in a little bit, like how I mentioned. But just thinking from a more long term perspective, hybrid roles I feel like are becoming a lot more common, especially on super slow offers with guys who there's only 1 to 2 reps on those offers. So it's definitely detrimental to not just ditch setting the second you get bumped up to closer, and be at least open to the opportunity to be like, okay, maybe I can set and close because we're not bringing in this many leads this month, this many leads that month. You know what I mean? So just be like open to the idea at least. Not only is it more money in your pockets, but it makes you a more valuable asset to the team, to the offer owner, to the operators, so whoever you're working with. Now let's talk a little bit about AI. So first things first, when it comes to AI, the first thing I automatically think of is like appointment setters, right? The bottom level of the food chain when it comes to high ticket sales. As appointment setters, your job isn't the easiest thing, but it's also not the hardest thing as well. And based off of research that I've been doing and actual call reviews that I'm doing from other offers, I mean, even like funnel hacking in my free time, like for fun, there's actually offer owners and just offers in general that already have AI doing all their appointment setting for them. Now, to give you a little bit more context, if you guys haven't heard or seen any of these AI appointment setters, not only do they sound human, not only do they like literally speak different accents, but they also like stutter now. And that was the biggest thing that blew my mind the last time I touched on AI appointment setting, is because if you're able to humanize it so much to the point where AI is like literally stuttering to sound even more human than ever before, who knows if appointment setters are even going to be a thing 5, 10, 20 years from now, right? If you're an appointment setter now, realistically speaking, you shouldn't be an appointment setter for more than like 6 to 12 months, give or take. But that's something to keep in mind of as well. Unless you absolutely love appointment setting for some reason, I don't think I've ever met someone that just loves appointment setting all day and just grinding, doing $100 to $300 a day. You know what I mean? It's, for some people, they might just be like that. But that's an obvious change that's obviously going to come in the near future, whether that's 5 years from now, whether that's 20 years from now. I truly think that AI is going to fully replace appointment setting, and that means more money in the offer owners' pockets and the operators, the marketing, and really just like the whole fulfillment team. So all the back end team basically. That means more money for them. It also means more money for people who are doing paid ads as well. Be able to invest back into the business and not having to sacrifice 5% of their entire business for a human appointment setter, rather than just paying a one-time payment or a monthly retainer for an appointment setting AI robot to pretty much dial leads within 3 minutes of an opt-in coming in. You know what I mean? A lot of these AI robots, not only do they sound human at the end of the day, but they can also integrate now to the point where these guys are literally dialing leads within 3 minutes that a lead comes in. If you guys are in high ticket sales, you guys already know the importance of speed to lead. I mean, I keep saying guys, this AI robot is literally dialing leads 10x faster, 5x faster, 2x faster than a normal human appointment setter would be dialing them, which is super detrimental because speed to lead is going to be crucial in high ticket sales. Not only is it crucial now, but it will forever continue being crucial moving forward. So something to be aware of too if you're an appointment setter in the space. Now the third thing, which is I feel like something that is super overlooked and people just literally just don't even know about the opportunity in this role specifically. So monthly retainers and managing roles in the futures. Okay. There's this guy I follow, his name's Temple Naylor, or vice versa, on Instagram. He also has a YouTube channel. You guys should go check him out. He seems like a super cool guy, knows what he's talking about. And he brought up this one interesting fact, like as a closer, especially when you're on a certain offer that the lead flow isn't there, lead quality, there could be a variety of stuff out of your control. Like if you're genuinely on an offer where like you feel stagnant, so you're stuck at like 10K a month, you're stuck at 20K a month, even 30K a month, and you're stuck at that position for like, I'm talking 6, 12, 18, 24 months, like consistently in a row, you have to come to the realization that you really have two options at the end of the day. You can either go find another offer, right? Better lead flow, better lead quality, or just get better as a closer. That's another option technically. But this is just hypothetically, like let's say you were truly capped out at your lead flow for your offer. Okay, so you gotta leave that offer, go find another offer. The second thing would be where the dual track system comes in. So dual means like two, obviously. So the second way to make money as a closer outside of just like strictly commissions at the end of the day is also getting into managing roles. Now this is where it gets interesting, right? When it comes to setter managers, closer managers, I mean, I think there's even like just typical sales managers that oversee the setter manager and the closer manager, sales manager in general. So those are three roles that you could also be looking to land eventually. There's a variety of ways you could get paid as a manager, right? There's monthly retainers, there's like percentages on top of like the whole revenue, percentages of cash collected. There's a variety of different methodologies you could get paid from, right? I truly truly think that the next big wave of, I guess, like not vehicle, but like the next big role in high ticket sales, aside from closing, obviously, is going to be these managing roles. I'm already seeing guys who are managing who are literally making like 30 to 100 grand a month. And these guys are literally hopping on calls with sales teams like 2 to 3 times a week. You know what I mean? And if you add that up, that obviously, yes, there's work involved at the end of the day. But if you truly think about it, you're hopping on 2 to 3 calls a week for a sales team that you're charging for like a 5K month retainer, and you're getting that on a consistent monthly basis. And you could do that like as many times as you want. You could do that for like 6 other teams, and all of a sudden you're making 30 grand a month. And on top of that, you can still close part time on another offer with lower lead flow. You know what I mean? So it's something that I'm starting to realize. Ever since I got into high ticket sales, I quickly moved up the ranks. If I was to compare myself to other people who started in high ticket sales, I probably like worked up the ranks probably like 95% faster than majority of people who start in this space. And the reason for that is because I was just presenting the right opportunity at the right time with my skill set. I'll talk about that at the end of the video as well when it comes to skills, your opportunity, your vehicle, things of that nature. So I was able to move up the ranks pretty fast. So now I'm an appointment setter manager as well. You know what I mean? I even coached my guys on some closing stuff as well because I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid sales rep and I'm a setter manager. You know what I mean? So it's important for you to learn both ends of the spectrum when it comes to understanding the opportunities of what is out there for you to land, in terms of closing, in terms of setting, hybrid, and also setter manager, closer manager, and then sales manager, pretty much like top of the food chain from the sales side of things, aside from like operators at the end of the day. So if you've been in high ticket sales for, I want to say, at least 6 months, like on the bare minimum, and then up to like 5, 10, 15 years, whatever the case may be, you guys should always be looking for ways to get into managing roles. Not only is it more money in your pocket, but it's also the skill set that you're learning about, like the overall business, the marketing, the sales, the leadership. There's so many skill sets inside of managing that I had to develop as a setter manager. It's not just simply hopping on calls with appointment setters and just telling them what to do all day. You know what I mean? There's so much like leadership and kind of just like structure that goes into place that you have to learn as a leader of a sales team. I mean, you're talking guys that literally have bills to pay. You're talking to guys who you want to develop a personal close to close relationship with, in order to not just develop a killer sales team, but also just build an evergreen culture that's going to continue to carry on for several months at a time. There's so many guys that are in this space for like 2 months, 3 months, and on to the next offer, on to the next big thing. You know what I mean? So it's about finding a team that you want to stick with, you want to work with, you want to grow with. Because if you continue hopping from one thing to another thing, not only just going to burn you out as a sales rep, but you're also never going to develop a true culture and connection to people who are actually willing to grow with you each and every single month, each and every single year. You know what I mean? You can tie that thing back to relationships as well. You know what I mean? You don't hop into a relationship because like stuff's all fancy and 10 out of 10 and it's the woman of your dreams, and she does this for you, this for you, this for you, that for you. And then comes to find out there's also stuff that you need to work on and she needs to work on at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You guys aren't just going to break up. You guys are going to continue growing with each other each and every single day, each and every single month, each and every single year, right? The same thing goes back to business, right? You want to be part of a team where you're able to grow with consistently, always striving for ways to land a closing role, setter manager role, closer managing role, things of that nature. Now, I'll come to think about it, I'll probably make a YouTube video here in the next few days on going over stuff I learned as an appointment setting manager, so that if you guys are looking to land managing roles, or you guys are already in a managing role and you guys are learning or looking for ways to actually scale your team even higher, or if you guys are dealing with setter churn, closer churn, whatever the case may be, I'll go over that with you guys as well, to share with you guys some of the stuff that I've been implementing that's allowed me to help my setters, not just in their journey, not just in their business, but also outside their life as well, which is more important to me when I hear their stories as well personally, okay? So that's going to be the third thing, going over monthly retainers, managing roles in the future. There's guys who are making 5 to 6 figures a month simply off of managing, and here's where it gets tricky as well. You don't want to be one of those guys that touches your first 5K, 10K a month, and all of a sudden you're ready to be a manager. You know what I mean? That's just not how it works. You have to have proof of concept, and you have to have enough experience and proof of concept in the space with the results you were able to produce as an appointment setter if you're going for a setter manager, as a closer if you're going for closer manager. I'd recommend you at least have both experience if you're going for like just a normal sales manager role. You know what I mean? So definitely don't go ahead into a managing role if you don't know what you're doing. I kind of had to, because there was no one else on our team ready to step up to that level of extent. So that's kind of how the opportunity was presented to me. Obviously, I feel a lot more confident being an appointment setting manager than a closing manager, because I have far more appointment setting experience than closing. However, I do have more closing experience. Once I touch my first 20, 30, 40 grand a month with closing, obviously, yes, I could move into a closing manager. You know what I mean? But me personally, I don't feel worthy of moving up to a closer manager if I don't have proof of concept of myself, in terms of just having the right opportunity line up with itself, so that I could actually see what my potential is as a closer specifically. Okay, so something to be aware of as well. Don't move up to a role too fast unless you're kind of in my position. You're kind of forced to at the end of the day. Then that's always an opportunity for you later down the road. Now, offer quality and growth. There's so many offers nowadays that just are out of your control at the end of the day, in terms of lead flow, lead quality, deliverables, fulfillment team, creator. There's so much stuff out of your control at the end of the day as a high ticket sales rep. That's why I think it's super important to sell for an offer you truly believe in, and the fulfillment team's going to be there, because you know that they're going to get the results they're looking for as long as they show up and put the work in at the end of the day. When it comes to finding a good offer, I think I went over this a little bit on one of my past videos, but to give you guys like a brief summary, definitely recommend just investing into a high ticket sales mentorship. There's so many high ticket sales mentorships nowadays. A lot of people are just launching courses and mentorships whenever. So definitely recommend like buying, maybe one is all you need, one quality one at least, so you could be in the right network of high ticket sales reps who are launching at least somewhat good offers. Out of 100 offers you apply for, there's going to be like 5 to 10 that are like high quality offers. Now, at the end of the day, if we're just being fully transparent here, and we're going back to kindergarten, when it comes to your skill set, you're not going to land a unicorn offer if you're not like a unicorn closer or setter at the end of the day. Unless you somehow, some way just manage to persuade them on your interview, then okay, yes, you might be able to. But at the end of the day, more likely than not, that's just simply not going to happen at the end of the day. So that's why I definitely recommend investing into mentorships, into communities specifically, and just getting yourself in a good network of high ticket salespeople who are always managing several offers for you to get placed on as well. Now, when it comes to the growth part, you can't expect to grow in a company if you're with them for like a month or two, bro. There's so many guys. I should chat GPT what the churn rate is for an average appointment setter. I feel like if we were, from my experience at least, especially in info, like how to make money online niches, the churn rate for appointment setters has got to be like 30 days on average. Like that's like ridiculous, you know what I mean? Like imagine hopping on, like on average, you go, that means a year, the average appointment setter is like hopping on like 12 different offers. You know what I mean? That's pretty insane to me. I don't know how you expect to grow with any company if you're just hopping from offer to offer to offer. Obviously, there's a variety of reasons why that happens. It's not always just lead flow, lead quality, things of that nature. But I think that a lot of appointment setters take their offer for granted and don't think long term in terms of what's possible growing in the company and actually working your way up as well. So just something to keep in mind of. I'm not saying stick with your offer all the time. Yes, there's a bunch of crappy offers at the end of the day, but you should always second guess and maybe talk to someone else who is more experienced in the space. Review to them why you want to leave an offer before you just do it, because how we mentioned earlier, like it's super hard, or if not hard, pretty much impossible to grow and work your way up in a company if you're changing offers every 2 to 3 months. That's just super realistic and common sense at the end of the day. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is going to be shift in buyer mindset. Now, what I mean by this is when you're hopping on sales calls, whether that's an appointment setting call, triage calls, or even closing calls with your prospects now, if you've been in the space for the past year, the past 2 years, the past 3 years, I'm sure you're well aware of what I'm talking about. Shift in buyer mindset, as in people automatically assume, not all the time, like I said, this is just like a decent percentage of prospects you'll talk to. A lot of these guys already have this subconscious in the back of my mind of like, I'm kind of scared to invest because like I don't want to get scammed. I've gotten scammed in the past. I'm scared to get scammed because my other friends have gotten scammed. My other family members have gotten scammed. I just don't want to blow $1,000 to $10,000 on a program and not get the results I'm looking for at the end of the day. And I feel like this mindset is becoming more and more and more common each and every single day, each and every single month in high ticket sales. And if you are not able to adapt to this, you are going to fall behind. That's just how it is at the end of the day. When it comes to shift in buyer mindset, that's another reason why I started scriptless selling compared to any NLP or any PQ, whatever you want to call it, like journey miner, 7th level type of selling, which is why I shifted into scriptless, because I knew that the shift in buyer mindset is constantly changing each and every single month. And as an appointment setter and as a closer, if you're not able to adapt to overcoming, it's not even about overcoming, it's more so just about having a true authentic conversation with the prospect and getting them to realize that they're the reason why they're in the position that they're in. The data gathering is going to present to them the reality that they truly live in at the end of the day, and being able to hold their feet to the fire long enough for them to make a decision at the end of the day, whether that's moving forward or whether that's not moving forward. Having to think about it is BS at the end of the day. There's all these objection handling tactics out there nowadays. But with scriptless is going to be by far, I think, the most powerful methodology in terms of forms of selling that you could utilize to adapt to the shift in buyer's mindset, unless you're okay with getting objections at the end of each and every single call. Completely up to you at the end of the day. But definitely something to keep in mind with the shift in buyer mindset. It's going to be harder and harder and harder for closers to sell just moving on in the future, just because there are a lot of offers that are scammy out there nowadays, and it creates such a bad reputation for info and just everybody in general. So unless you're able to display trust by changing your methodology of selling and actually implementing stuff that's going to allow you to come off as more truthful, more authentic, just more real, if we're being honest, you're not going to be able to close at a high percentage. And what I mean at a high percentage, I'm talking like 45, 50, 55, up to 60, 70%, 80%, even up to 90% close rate. You know what I mean? So something to keep in mind of as well. I feel like it's kind of already known in the high ticket info space, but something to be aware of that you will have to be able to adapt, because it's going to increasingly get hard moving forward. It's not going to go back to how it was where people were just buying courses like they're getting groceries from the grocery store at the end of the day. It's never going to be like that ever again. So last thing we'll be going over is going to be skills plus personal brand equals evergreen. Okay. So the first thing in that formula is skill set. There's so many things out of your control as an appointment setter, as a closer, just in sales in general. So I don't even stress about stuff that I'm not in control, lead flow, lead quality, the marketing side of things. There's so much stuff out of your control at the end of the day. So just focus on being consistent when it comes to doing your mock calls, doing your training call reviews, doing just doing research from other people's sales methodologies and also other people's sales calls so that you're getting 1% better each and every single day. I truly believe that when your skill set matches the right opportunity, that's where diamonds are truly built at the end of the day. You can think about it as like a graph, right? Your skill set is right here and your opportunity is here. Once your skill set meets the right opportunity right here at the point right here, that's where you're gonna start making the money you want to be making at the end of the day. But if you're slacking off and you start doing the proper sales training required for you to perform on that offer and opportunity is going to pass you right up and it's going to be handed to somebody else at the end of the day. I truly believe that God will reward those who are consistently putting the work in each and every single day with the right opportunity at the right time. He's never going to be too late. He's never going to be too early for you. So I just truly think that if you're not being consistent, that opportunity is just going to pass up on you, and you only get so many opportunities like that in your life. So it's just important to be able to show up, be the best version of yourself each and every single time an opportunity like that does present itself, so that you can take full advantage of it for yourself, for your family, for your future, and just for your goals as well. Now, the second thing I mentioned was also personal branding, okay? I started this YouTube channel when I think it was like back in March, like 6 months ago, give or take. And I want to say every 30 days I've been having like 1 to 2 offer owners / operators, whatever you want to call them at the end of the day, DM me on Instagram just saying that they like my content or they want me to set or close or manage some of their offers. I simply can't because I got my hands full with what I'm doing right now. But it just shows that when you're being true and authentic on YouTube and you're not afraid to post your sales calls and you're not afraid to just really like how I'm just talking to you guys right now, giving you guys feedback on the evolution of high ticket sales. It randomly just gets your name out to a bunch of individuals in the space. No matter how big their offer is, you're still getting your name out to people literally just by talking on your phone. You know what I mean? So it's something I've definitely been super blessed and grateful for, is not just being able to get recognized by other offer owners and operators, but also really just being able to help out people break into the high ticket sales space as well when it comes to personal branding. There are a lot of guys nowadays that sell like high ticket sales mentorships and courses at the end of the day. I feel like what's going to separate the 10% of sales mentorships and communities, whatever you want to call it, from the top 0.01% is going to come down to a few things. I can name some off the top of my head. Proof of concept. So like how much money have you actually made in commissions back when you were a closer, right? True and authenticity. How truthful and authentic your content is and how well it works for other people. I mean, that's kind of obvious at the end of the day. And then third thing, I feel like it's also going to be value on YouTube. And what I mean by that is Josh Lyons, I mentioned you guys earlier. I always talk about him. He's a super cool guy. I mean, he probably produces by far the best high ticket sales content on YouTube in info, B2C, B2B, just anything. He's the guy to watch on YouTube in your free time. And he pumps up so much value on his YouTube video. It's like a no-brainer to join the mastermind at the end of the day. But I feel like the more truthful and more free value you're able to give on YouTube, just the more authentic and humane you're going to be moving forward. And it's also going to create something evergreen. The skill set is obviously going to help you land a beautiful opportunity with a beautiful offer, with a beautiful skill set. It's all just going to line up at the end of the day. But then personal branding is going to be crucial, because not only is personal branding by far probably the greatest vehicle to be in right now, like thinking like more long-term perspective, but it's something that could be evergreen as well. It doesn't have to be like a 3-month, 6-month type of thing. It could be something that could last you for decades to come, if you set it up right. And if the foundation isn't set up right properly, then it's just going to fall off eventually at the end of the day. So something to keep in mind as well. if you're in high ticket sales, I highly recommend you guys are documenting your journey. Drop call reviews, drop your knowledge, drop sauce that you're learning on your journey. I'm truly glad I was able to start this journey with you guys like 6 months ago when I started the YouTube channel. I'm still learning and growing each and every single day with you guys. By far, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I always want to be able to help serve you guys best, because I know that there's someone else out there who's in a similar position like me, who just needs that extra push to go across the line, to just go all in on what they truly believe in at the end of the day, whether that's sales, whether that's wherever they want in their life. So definitely just attack your goals. Keep God first. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for keeping up with the YouTube channel. Hope you guys were able to find some sort of value out of this whole high ticket sales evolution type of video, so you guys could get ahead of the curve and you guys could separate yourself from the 90% of sales reps who are just completely trash at what they sell and just don't really act like they care, for just being honest. So hopefully you guys were able to take something from this. Don't be afraid to drop a comment of anything else that you guys feel is going to evolve or change in the near future for high ticket sales. I'll do my best to continue posting out videos like this each and every single week for you guys, and keep along for the journey. God bless you guys, love you guys, and have a blessed rest of your day.